global news update on top Accolade News. In a world where words can spark wars, tariff ignite fears and fragile truces offer fleeting hope, tonight's headline reminds us that every decision echoes in human lives, demanding not just attention, but accountability. Let's dive in. Australian senator under investigation for controversial rally speech. France unveils new cabinet. China vows countermeasures after Trump escalates tariff threats. UK unions demand inquiry into TikTok job cuts. First up, down under, where free speech meets firestorm. The Australian Federal Police have launched an investigation into independent Senator Lidia Thorpe after she told a pro-Palestinian rally she would burn down Parliament House to make a point. She later clarified her statement as a metaphor for community pain, condemning the mock outrage that followed. Politicians across party lines labeled the remark irresponsible and disgraceful, while authorities confirmed the probe is underway. In a democracy built on free speech, a few rewards show how rhetoric can still ignite a political blaze. From heated words in Canberra to a reshuffle in Paris, where France's president is fighting to keep the system from burning down. French President Emmanuel Macron on Sunday announced a new government under Prime Minister Sebastien Lecornu, aiming to break months of deadlock and push through a 2026 austerity budget before a looming deadline. The reshuffle blends veterans with newcomers. Yet, with a fractured parliament, opposition threats and public anger over pension reforms, Lecornu faces an uphill battle for survival. France's government may have a new face, but its old fracture still run deep. Now to the global economy, where trade tensions are boiling over. China on Monday condemned US President Donald Trump's threat to impose an additional 100% tariff on Chinese goods, calling it a typical example of US double standards and warning of possible countermeasures. The move follows Beijing's decision to tighten rare earth export control, sparking fears of a revived trade war that rattled global markets. Trump's remarks sent Wall Street tumbling and Asian stocks sliding, with investors bracing for escalation ahead of his planned meeting with President Xi Jinping. In a world addicted to trade, even talks of tariffs can send shockwaves louder than war drums. Trade tension doesn't end there. Across the Atlantic, one tech giant is facing a moral audit of its own. Trade unions and online safety experts have urged members of parliament to probe TikTok's plan to cut 439 London-based moderation jobs, warning it could endanger children and weaken content safety. The Trades Union Congress and CWU accused TikTok of union busting and replacing human moderators with AI and cheaper labor abroad, despite soaring revenue. Labour Member of Parliament Chi Onwurah said the move questions TikTok's commitment to user protection. Sometimes, the real threat online isn't toxic content, but who is left to stop it? You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Just stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. A rare bright spot for regional recovery, Syria is back at the table. Syria has rejoined the Trade Negotiating Committee of the Trade Preferential System among OIC member states, marking its first participation in 14 years at a meeting in Ankara. The Syrian delegation expressed gratitude for the invitation and stressed the importance of providing trade cooperation, sharing expertise, and boosting economic partnerships to drive sustainable development across the Islamic world. After years of isolation, Syria's return signals a cautious yet meaningful step towards rebuilding regional economic ties through diplomacy and commerce. Return now to Gaza, where a fragile peace is finding its first human face. Hamas on Monday handed over the first 7 of 20 surviving Israeli hostages to the Red Cross as part of a US-brokered ceasefire deal that also frees nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, marking a pivotal moment in ending 2 years of war in Gaza. US President Donald Trump arrived in Israel to address the Knesset before heading to Egypt for a peace summit aimed at cementing the truce. As crowds wept and celebrated in Tel Aviv, Gaza's ruins bore silent witness to the price of peace, proof that even victory can look like survival. From survival to legacy, the lights dim in Hollywood tonight. Acclaimed actress Diane Keaton, famed for her Oscar-winning role in Annie Hall and her singular style, has died at 79 in Los Angeles. Tribute poured in from Hollywood legends, with a career spanning over 5 decades and classic from The Godfather to Something's Gotta Give. Keaton's blend of wit, vulnerability, and unapologetic independence reshaped Hollywood's idea of a leading woman. She's lived her art as she lived her life, entirely, brilliantly, and in her own terms. Finally, on the pitch, Denmark extended the unbeaten World Cup qualifying run with a 3-1 victory over Greece in Copenhagen, eliminating the visitors from contention and setting up a decisive Group C finale against Scotland. Goals from Denmark sealed the win despite a late break strike, with both Denmark and Scotland level on 10 points. The next clash will determine who advances automatically to the finals. Sometimes in football's tightest race, composure, not possession, decides who reaches the world stage. As we sign off, remember, in these turbulent times, truth isn't optional. It is our anchor. Stay vigilant, stay informed. For Top Accolade News, I'm Ojorumi Okocha. Do have a wonderful day and keep watching the global news update on Top Accolade News.